Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make some quick impact frames. So first things you want to do is, the easy way is to just make a GUI, but I'll show you a way to make like more flexible impact frames. So first you want to make a wedge, and the reason I make a wedge is so I know what the front of the wedge is. This will represent our camera. So now with the one stud increment, duplicate the wedge, set the position to be same, and then set it one stud forward. I do this because this is going to be the canvas we're going to use for the frame or the impact frame. So the dimensions I felt that were best for this was 7.5 and just put the lowest number you can over there. And this will be where our impact frame will be displayed on the decal right here. I'll be explaining two ways you can make the impact frames. So what I have open is Paint 3D, and we're going to be drawing our impact frames. I'm not an artist, so be careful. I don't follow what I'm doing here. But what you want to do is first set the canvas size, so when you save it, it saves this canvas size. And this really does matter, because when you put in a decal or something drawn into Roblox Studio, the size will actually be what the size of the default picture size would be. So you want to set your canvas to 700 500 if you're using the dimensions I'm using here, which is 7 to 5. Yeah, width is 7, the height is 5. Now first, impact frames comes in all shapes and sizes, but I'll do the one everyone's familiar with, black background, white effects. So let me make my impact frame real quick. Alright, now that I've got my impact frames, and I didn't do it with the last decal, but I'm basically trying to make it so it forms a small little animation. I'm just going to be using 4 for this example. So usually most people would think to just use the decal object, right? Wrong. We're going to be using the beam object, and I'll show you why. So to set up this, first you want to make an attachment and set the C-frame offset to 2.5 because the height of our little canvas here is 5 and we want it to be at the very top. Duplicate this attachment and then set the offset to negative 2.5 so it's at the very bottom. And then create a beam object and set the attachment 0 to the first attachment and attachment 2 or attachment 1 to the second attachment. And now click on texture, add image, choose file, and now add your impact frame to see how it looks. Alright, you have to rotate this attachment. You see this orange arrow right here? You want to rotate it so it goes onto the side. And whatever the C-frame orientation you have here, you want to copy it to this one. So it forms a nice little image. And right here, we have an impact frame. And unlike a decal, this one is glowing. This is what I want. So I stop from moving, and then I start messing with all the settings. So you want to change the width until you get what you want. I'm pretty sure 5.5 is enough. Texture length, change this to like 0.8. Make sure these both are at 0. Brightness 100, that's nice. Actually, I'm gonna let this run and then stop it when. Okay, there we go. Now I got what I want to occur, or let me just. There we go. That's what I want to see for my impact frame. So now that you've gotten the perfect settings for your beam, we start scripting now. Oh wait, no, one more thing. We need to make sure this thing covers the whole camera. If it doesn't, just adjust the width again, and you should be fine. Right, okay, right there. Now let's look at the scripting. Alright, for the scripting phase first, you want to rename your Dane to something that you can identify it with. So I'm going to name this as Canvas. Move it into wherever you're going to make your local script. I'm going to be using my local script instead of player scripts. And right here, I have this small script setup. I'll explain it really quickly in case you don't know what I'm doing. So this right here gets user input service. This is an object that allows you to use the methods inside of the object or the events. So this has an event called input began, and this will fire when you press any key, move your mouse, whatever, and this will fire an event. Connect function K, and this argument inside is it will return whatever ding that you press. If I activated this event with the key T, this K will return an enum called key code T. If I like clicked, it will return an enum left click. And this function's weird, but if you have keys, you use key code. That's why I have key code here. K.keycode. The key code is how it stores all the keyboard letters. So, and I needed to make sure it equals enum.keycode.t. If you do not know what an enum is, it's basically just a storage of a bunch of dings. It's like, you can't just represent a t by a string, right? Like, if this function were to return a t string, I don't know why it's not a string, it makes it simpler, but basically, this is like its own ding, its own object. Like, it's unique, it has a unique reading, and that's what K returns. That's why it's in an enum. An enum is a storage of unique objects. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm gonna move the canvas parent into the workspace so it's visible to our player, and then move the canvas's C frame to change it into our camera's C frame. What this does is, the C frame is the position and orientation, so it changes the canvas's orientation and position to be the same exact one as the camera. And then I'm gonna do camera.cframe.look vector. What this would do is it moves the canvas one like stud in front of the camera. So I have camera.cframe plus the one stud distance in front of the camera. Add these together, and this is our camera.cframe, which should be one stud in front of our camera. And now let me do a print statement in case it doesn't work, and let's see what it looks like. See, it puts this right in front of me. Now that I've gotten the working script open, or the working part of the script done, I'm gonna duplicate this canvas 3 times for every keyframe or impact frame I made, and just paste the image into each one. Now that I've gotten all my scripts or canvases inside of the script, I'm just gonna have them appear one after another and make the last one disappear so they don't interlap somehow. Okay, and the wait statement, this is how long that each view intervals will be. Personally, 1 frame in 60 FPS is this much time, so this is like approximately 1 frame. Now that I've gotten the working script open, or the working part of the script done, I'm gonna duplicate this canvas 3 times for every keyframe or impact frame I made, and just paste the image into each of them. Now that I've gotten all my scripts or canvases inside of the script, I'm just gonna have them appear after one after another and make the last one disappear so they don't interlap somehow. Okay, and the wait statement, this is how long that each view intervals will be. Firstly, 1 frame in 60 FPS is this much time, so this is like approximately 1 frame. As you can see, these are simple impact frames, and if you need to adjust them, just like, see, it looks a little too close, so I'll just increase the distance a little that the canvas appears on. And then test it again and see what it looks like. Looks a little better. I think the impact frames are too fast. You can adjust it however you want. And the second way I made impact frame, so it's here. This was the main frame that I used for the judgment cut. And this is just a part attached to the canvas. Using the same method, I had a canvas and I have a core part, which is I use for the positioning. So, and then I have this glowing object in the middle, which is when it appears like right here and makes like a cool glowing slash. That's the second way. And over here, what I have is attachments, and these attachments are attached to the canvas, and I attach them with trails all over them. So, or beams, yeah, they're beams. Now, and then I can just adjust them. This is more of a like advanced way. It's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to understand, but it's an option to make it glow. I have a pinwheel over here, just appeared for like less than a frame, and I just have more random art. So if you watch the judgment cut showcase in slow-mo, you can see the impact frames as they show. Actually, I'll just show it again right now. I hope you saw those impact frames, and that's the end of the video. I just wanted to show an easy scripting way to add impact frames. And you can use decals, which is easier, but you can't get it to glow, which is why I don't like using that way. Alright, thank you. Hope this video was helpful. Bye bye.